to show how to make the buttonhole on the mini cape, I'm using this pink yarn because I think it will be easier to see the stitches than on this speckled, variegated, anyway, the yarn that we're using for the cape. And I'll also be coloring some of it with markers so you can tell where I'm picking up. So this is just like what it's a piece, it's not as long, but it's like on the cape, the first 2 rows, where the first row is a double crochet and we're coming back, the second row is also, the whole row is a double crochet. When you get to the end of the second row, this will be like the end of the second row, you work 2 chain stitches, turn that around, and then you work a double crochet and another double crochet in the next stitch, and then in the next stitch we will start the buttonhole stitch. And this first one is kind of a foundation, I guess, to the buttonhole, because you're still going through the bottom like you would for a normal double crochet. And you yarn over and bring your hook through like the double crochet. Then this is where it's different. You yarn over, instead of going through the first 2 loops on your hook like you would a double crochet, just go through the first one. And it's like you're doing a little chain stitch right there. And now you finish it like you would a normal double crochet with the 2 loops and the 2 loops. Now this is where I'm going to do some coloring. Here is the little extra chain that we created. So on your next, or your actual first buttonhole stitch that's independent from the second row double crochets, we're going to yarn over and pick up that chain that we created, and then yarn over, pull it through. Now we're going to do the same thing. We yarn over and just go through the first loop, not both loops, to finish that double crochet. Now we'll color this one purple. Okay, that's the first independent part of the buttonhole, and we're going to do 2 more of those. So yarn over, do it the same, pick up the last little extra chain that we created, which is that purple. Yarn over, pull it through. Yarn over and just pull your yarn through the first loop, not both. Now we've created another little chain right here that will probably color green this time. Now I'll just finish this like a normal double crochet. Here's the extra stitch that we did. Now we're going to do, yarn over, put it through that little extra chain, pull it through that, yarn over, and just put your hook through the top loop like that. And we created another one. This is the last one. We're going to finish this double crochet, and we have now, here's that extra chain, we've now done 3 totally independent buttonhole stitches. This one, and this one. This one is the one that we did by attaching it to the bottom, or these stitches. So we have these 3, 1, 2, 3. So we count over 3 stitches here. 1, 2, 3, the tops of the previous or the second row double crochets. Those we will not work a stitch in. We'll do our double crochet or attach this piece right here into that fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if you can see that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stitch. But we can't hook it from here because we have to get down to the bottom. So yarn over and do what we did before and pick up that extra chain that we colored a maroon purpley color. And then we aren't going to pull that through yet. We're also going to pick up that 4th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to pick up both loops like I have been when I have done all my double crochets. And then yarn over, pull it through those 2 loops and that colored extra chain that we did. And then finish your double crochet. And you've completed the buttonhole. Look at that. And because of the stretch, you can get a pretty big button through there. And I do, for this capelet, want to use some bigger buttons. Now, in the pattern, we're going to work, after we have now completed this buttonhole, 4 complete double crochets. And then we'll work another buttonhole. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're ready for the second buttonhole. So yarn over, start it. I'm going to attach this first one, that foundation, to the top of this second row of double crochets. So you pull your yarn through there, yarn over, and then just do that extra chain like that. And then finish off that double crochet. And I won't color them this time. Now we're going to do 3 independent button stitches where we're going into the chain stitch that we've created. So here's the first one. Pull just through the first loop. Now we finish it with going like a normal double crochet. There's the first one. Now here's the second independent one. And here's that first. Here's the one we just did. Chain, extra little chain. So pick that up, pull it through that, then yarn over and just go through the top loop on your hook. Then finish it off like a regular double crochet. Yarn over, that's the second, here's the third. Pull it through that chain, then yarn over and pull through the top loop, and then finish it like a regular double crochet. And now we are going to attach this down here, skipping these 3 and then working or picking up the stitch in the fourth stitch. Pick up the loops in the 4th stitch. Yarn over. First, pick up the last chain that we did. Extra little stitch there. And then don't yarn over. Again, just pick up that stitch and then immediately pick up the 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4th, both loops. Then yarn over and pull it through those stitches that you've picked up, and then finish it off like a regular double crochet. And now you'll just work your double crochets all around the capelet or mini cape neck. This is the neck portion, and this of course is much shorter than the actual pattern, but I just want to I'll just do one more and then show you what these buttonholes look like. See how nice, well, except for the marker, but they just I think make a real slick buttonhole. There's the one, and then there's the second one. For this cape, you'll mostly be just working double crochets. And the other stitch you'll do is a double crochet increase, which is worked by doing a double crochet in the next stitch, and then simply working another double crochet in that same stitch. So you're working 2 double crochets in the same stitch, like that. And then in the instructions, I may have it marked as a V, to work a V. That would be an increase, and it's called a V because it kind of looks like a V, the way it's shaped. So just to show you again, I'll do a double crochet. In this stitch also, on this whole project, I've been picking up, yarn over, I've been picking up both loops of all of the stitches, not just the front loop or the back loop. Do one more double crochet in the next stitch. Now, in this next one right here, I will work another increase, which is just doing a double crochet, and then another double crochet in that same stitch. So in that same space, we'll work 2 stitches. And you can see it looks like a V because it's coming out of the same one stitch on the bottom, and then you have 2 stitches on the top, which make a V shape. When you get to the end, the last row, row 27, just yarn over and pull the yarn through. As you can tell, I had previously cut it. And then, to know which side is the inside, you'll want to lay your cape down and put the buttonholes, well, you can have the buttonholes on either side, but mine, I'm going to have the buttonholes on the right side of the cape. So that makes this the inside. And so I will be weaving in the yarn ends, and I don't want to have to weave in one that's that long, so I'll cut that a little shorter. And I'm also going to use a smaller size hook. It's also actually much faster to do it with a needle probably than a hook, but I didn't want to have to thread the needle, so I'm going to use a smaller hook. It was just easier for me to grab this right here and now. And on the inside, I just kind of randomly pull the yarn through. Come on. And I like to kind of make it more zigzaggy so that that end doesn't, sometimes if you just go in a straight line, that end is easier. It is easier for that end to make its way back out, or unweaved. Is that correct? So I'm just kind of going willy-nilly with this. I wonder where that expression came from, willy-nilly. And you'll just want to do that 3 or 4, 5, whenever you feel like it's in there quite securely. Which I think I'm going to be there after this one. And then just trim it close. Then we've got the other yarn end that we began with that beginning long chain rope. So I want to do that toward the inside also. Okay, I just finished weaving that end. That's where it ended up, in about 1.5 inches. And now it's time to sew on the buttons. And for this, I am going to use a very wide-eyed needle. It also has a blunt tip. And the size buttons, these are about 1.5 inches. They're wooden buttons that I found. So those are going to be the ones that I'm going to use for this. And you'll want to lay the cape out, and with the buttons, like I said before, I'm going to put the buttons on the right side. So you'll have the buttons on this side, on the outside, of course, on the left side, and they'll probably have one about right here and one approximately right here, but you'll want to space those to where the buttonholes are, and this is going to come down kind of at an angle. So I don't have a way to show this to you very well on me. So when you have your cape done, put it over your shoulders in a mirror, look in the mirror, and make sure the points down at the bottom, these two corners, hang evenly, where you have this then around your neck. Then these points at the bottom are hanging evenly, and then mark with maybe a safety pin where, like if you need to put a button here, how high or low you need to put this one so that the end of the cape, like I said before, the points are even. So mark that, and then you'll be ready to sew on those buttons. So that's what I'm going to go do. Before I safety pin the buttons where I want them, I just wanted to show you a picture of this is what I want it to look like as far as the placement goes for this cape. Is one kind of on this left side down quite a bit, so it comes across like this picture. All right, I have my safety pins placed, one here and one here, and my needle is threaded, so I'm ready to go. I'm just going to come up from the inside. Let's see. Actually, let's put the button there on top. And down. I don't know if I can go through there again. I'll try it and see. It'll be 4 strands of yarn. It's working. So depending on the size of your buttonholes and the thickness of the yarn in comparison will determine how many times you can go through that buttonhole. Then I'm just going to tie a knot. Square knot should do it. We'll see if I have enough on here to do the second buttonhole. I don't know if I do. I'll go right there. Now, I would recommend, before you tie this off real tight, maybe just do a half, I don't know what they call that, a half something. Half of a square knot, just so it's there, or just don't even do a knot, just pull the yarn through. That should be enough to hold it. And then try on the cape, button up the button, and and see if it's hanging correctly in the way you want them before you do that square knot. So here we which I'm going to do that with this one right here. Well, I'm glad I checked it because it was, the safety pin was here and I moved it over here because it seemed to fit better. The ends of the cape will be more even if I put it over here a little bit more. So that was a good check. Doo -doo -doo. I'm gonna have to move this because I'm stitching right in the middle of it. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna have enough yarn to go through here twice. Looks good. We'll put a square knot here and it'll be all done. Well, maybe we'll put a square knot. There. Oh, gotta take this safety pin out too. Look at that. Oh, I love it. Love it. I love it. Let's put those buttons on. I don't know if I said this already. These are, the diameter of these buttons are 1.5 inches. There. Well, aside from being upside down. There we have it. Oh, it's so awesome. This Nomadic Cape would be a great combination with the woodland hood and the fingerless gloves. Just be so cozy and folksy and mythical and wonderful. Love the feel of it.